Let's chat Tottenham, shall we? New signing Mohammed Kudus is winning the hearts of Spurs fans, and he's yet to even step on the pitch.
I'm going to listen to your heart, okay?
You find Spurs good?
Yeah, I find it. I can hear the cockerel now very clear.
A few days ago, you could hear the hammers, couldn't he, inside that heart, you know?
You don't want to start wandering around East London looking for clothes or anything at the moment.
13th of September, Pards, West Ham against Spurs. I bet he'll get a hot reception.
He'll
back
get
there.
reminded then. You know exactly what he's been. You know, when you move football clubs, it's very, very important to show a bit of respect. Do you know what I mean? And that is disrespectful what he's done there. And I don't think he actually meant it. I think it was just a jokey throwaway line. Unfortunately for him, it's going to turn out more than that.
It is indeed. I'm happy to say joining us now, good friend of yours, Spurs fan, host of the Final Word on talkSPORT. It's Pod's good mate, Majestic. Morning, Madge.
Morning, chaps. How'd you get Pods out this early?
He was here before me this morning.
I can believe that. He's the consummate professional as a Pods.
Yeah, but talk about embarrassing the presenter, you know, when the guest turns up before you. Anyway, look, you've got Mohammed Kudus over the line. Morgan Gibbs-White, still a possibility. You happy with the business at Spurs so far?
Oh, absolutely, and it almost felt too good to be true when I heard the two of them going in sort of the space of 24 hours. And of course, we've seen the Morgan Gibbs-White transfer have the little delay at the moment, hoping that does get over the line. But yeah, it just seems like me and Pards talked about it at the start of the season last year, didn't we, Pards, on our show about that. The movement in the transfer window for Ange last season did not seem like it was a club trying to look for top four, even top six with some of the signings that we made. These are two Premier League proven players, and you know, as you mentioned there with the little jest about Spurs in his heart, it's going to be breaking West Ham's fans' hearts, unfortunately, because he was a big player for them. Although he did down tools last season, we have seen a very good Mohammed Kudus at times. So yeah, if we can get the Morgan Gibbs-White transfer done, I think there's one little piece of the puzzle that I'd like to improve on as well, which is in sort of that sort of central defensive midfield area we talked about, Pards.
Yeah,
I think we're a little weak in that area, aren't we?
Yeah, and you know, as you say, Madge, you know, it was so underwhelming last year's transfers into Spurs. Young players, you know, hope rather than kind of assurance. This is definitely a better feel in terms of what they're doing. Kudus was a terrific player for a period for West Ham, and you'll be looking that he replicates that. And as we said, the one problem that Spurs had, particularly at home, was a player to go down the outside and cause problems with pace, you know, and take you up the pitch, and he'll definitely add to that. I mean, you know, where do you think, Madge, you know, your kind of ambition is this year for Spurs? I mean, I know you've got a cockerel in your heart as well. I can see it even on you wearing it this morning. Put your shirt on. Where are you kind of going next year?
You know what? You look at the work that, you know, Newcastle are doing in the transfer window. We've seen, of course, from the top with Liverpool, they started things early. You know, the teams around us are improving, and we've seen how incredible Chelsea were, of course, in that cup final. It's going to be the most interesting and most difficult Premier League season, I think, next year. So it's so hard even to look at even the top six. That's where Spurs need to be. Whether or not we get there is another situation. Of course, Thomas Frank's first year. I'm just really excited about this project, Thomas Frank, and what it could mean for the next few
Project
years.
Project Thomas Frank. It's all
yeah. I hear you, but the difference I feel now is taking the hoodoo of we don't win anything off of our back, bringing in a manager like Thomas Frank who adapts from game to game. I've mentioned him a couple of times, and I think he's going to be absolutely instrumental. Will be his number 2, Justin Cochran, with some of those young lads that we've got at the club. I think he's going to really connect with them and be able to develop them. You know, he's been you know, touted as the person behind Brian Mbeumo's sort of improvements. Is like he's given a lot of praise towards people like Justin. So it's going to be interesting to see those players that we've got there, because there are some young quality players in our squad like Destiny.
I mean, there's no doubt that you've got some young, you know, quality coming through. Where do you sit with I mean, it's interesting because I think when last Sunday when we was doing the show, we was talking about Eze going to Spurs, and now we wake up this morning that Eze's going to Arsenal. You know, that big North London pull. I mean, that will be a blow if he goes to Arsenal, particularly in your mind. You're a big fan, aren't you?
Yeah, big fan of Eze, of course, but at the end of the day, there must be a reason, whether it's wages or whatever else, that we've not gone finally in for him. But for me, the signings, if we can get Morgan Gibbs-White over the line and we get Kudus, I think, for me, I can take that blow of Eze going to Arsenal. I personally feel with Arsenal, like, Martinelli, when he first came through at Arsenal, he was fantastic. And I do feel like the shackles have almost been put on him a little bit in terms of his freedom and watching him play as a footballer. And speaking to some Arsenal fans, they've said the same thing to me as well. So I don't know whether or not Eze's the player that Arsenal necessarily need. I think if they can get... It's scary thinking again Arsenal going in for, they've got Majestic, who I think is a really good player. Of course, he was a Spurs Academy player. But if they go and get Gyökeres, they've done some great moves in the transfer window. It's going to be so difficult just to stay even in the race, let alone be anywhere near the top four. And that's the thing. And I think this is why that Morgan Gibbs-White transfer is so essential for Spurs to get done and still go again and get another at least one or two in this transfer window.
Madge, I'm going to jump in because you two must think this is the final word or something like that. Look, I think you need a defender or two, and particularly another central defender. But that's for another time. Madge, thanks very much indeed, mate.
Cheers, guys. Enjoy.
Cheers, Madge.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.